All right, so we're going to hear from the director of the hospital.
We are beyond hope. That's what they keep telling me. My 3 patients. My 3 hopeless cases. But I do not believe it to be a matter of hope. It is a matter of diligence, discipline, trial and error, of being as bold as one can be, to go as far as one needs to. I will find what it is that truly ails them, and I will cure them.
James looking back at me like, you hear this guy? Okay. Every time this comes up, I mention it. Because I needed a win, okay? I have so many theories, and they're so nutty. I needed a win, okay? So I said, whose voice is that? Because we'll hear another tape from him at the end of the game. I said, who is that? And we couldn't find it. I said, Ian, can you, with your knowledge of various versions of the game, can you find for me what actor that is? Because I know who I think it is. Because the voice has clearly been altered. Why would you alter someone's voice to hide from the viewer, the listener, who it was? It's the same actor who plays James. It's Luke Roberts. They pitched his voice down. So the director is much like the janitor in the early parts of the game, sort of a projection or a dream aspect of James, which raises huge questions that we'll never answer about how much of this is real outside of James. If Angela happened to run around this hospital, would she hear anything from the director? Because if it's James, then it doesn't have anything to do with her. So how much of this is fully from James's subconscious, and how much of it is outside that? In terms of the history of Silent Hill, in terms of the history of this hospital, which I have, where are my notes on that? Settlers in the 1600s, they quickly died of an epidemic, which is a theme in this town, plagues and epidemics. And this hospital was built as, quote, little more than a shack. And then eventually all the settlers fled, and they left this area. They left their settlement abandoned. There were obviously tribes here who already lived here, but the white colonists abandoned their settlement for nearly a century, and it was resettled as a prison colony in the early 1800s. Around 1810, another epidemic broke out, and they started rebuilding the hospital. So Brookhaven Hospital is tied very closely to Toluca Prison, which is a gigantic level. We will be at a few commentaries from now. I really enjoy that area, actually. During the American Civil War, it was put into use as a medical hospital. It's existed at this scale since the late 1800s, says the Fan Wiki, having compiled this information. And it eventually became a mental hospital instead. And we don't know when it was abandoned. However, there are features in the building, like some of these televisions, where I'm like, okay, I think it was, they kept it up till fairly, if this game takes place in 1986, I'm like, this was fairly recent. Again, I don't know to what extent James is thinking, I remember TVs in the hospital where I visited Mary. Like, I'm telling you that history because we truly don't know how much of this is him and how much of this was really there, if ever. We don't know. So I don't know if the director is a real person outside James's story. And a check mark in favor of he's imagined by James is the fact that it is the same actor, the same voice, the same person, if you will. So I just thought that was really, really cool. Ian found that credit on the Japanese version of the game. He's not credited in the English version.